Yo. I'm still trying to wake up. Today has just been one of those days where I don't know if I've just been so busy every day, but today's one of those days where I'm like a pure zombie today. so um we're actually getting some new news as of right now when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles on pre-draft visits. It looks like the Eagles have actually hold on, I'm hearing myself talk. Looks like the Eagles have got some pre-draft visits set up with Jalen Carter from Georgia, which is a big one. It looks like Jalen Carter will be the next on the list. Brian Barise from Clemson. I don't know what the third one is. I heard they're bringing in like 3 defensive linemen in for pre-draft visits, so I could be wrong, but it was reported already. So I'm just waiting on if there's more news on it for what days, what's going on, which is pretty good. So I'm pretty pumped over it, just to see like where we're at with the process. Like, so as of right now, I think you're at 7. I think you're at seven people, 7 visits so far, and that's Broderick Martin, Paris Johnson, DeJuan Jones. Am I reading this right? Jacqueline Roy, Bijan Robinson, I think Lucas Van Ness. So those are I think 7 visits already for the Philadelphia Eagles, and kind of what's going on as of right now. Is my chat working? Because I don't think my chat's working on here. I don't. It's really weird. Why is? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I'm just. I don't know. Actually, maybe it is. I'm just freaking out. Yeah. So should be really interesting. I mean, I think with the pre-draft visits that we do have as of right now, they're getting kind of everything together now, because at the end of the day, I think the 10th overall pick is obviously a pick of need, but a luxury pick as well. To really have one of the best players available. Yeah, I think we're good now. It's not showing me how many people are in here, and it's not showing me. I don't know if there's something wrong. It's not updating. I think we're good now, but the problem is I don't know how many people are in here. that's the only thing. I mean, I can see on YouTube, but I can't see. Hold on, YouTube. It's not YouTube. I think it's StreamYard or something. Yeah, it says there's 0 people in here, so that's why I was really confused on what was going on. What up, DB Cooper? Yeah, I think it's working now. I think we're all right. I just don't know how many people are in here. So, yeah. So it looks. What's going on? Morning, everybody, guys. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah. Today, I'm very tired. I'm very tired today. Plus, do a stream. We'll do a stream, for right now, and then we have obviously the Philly Shakedown tonight. We'll have a lot more to talk about tonight with Philly 500. All right, now the chat. Now the numbers up for the chat. There's 98 people. Okay. All right. 120. Okay. So we're getting somewhere with this as of right now. Sorry. I had to see if this was working because I couldn't see the chat or anything like that. So I do appreciate everybody. But I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat right now. What's going on, Green Blood? What's going on, Philly Y, ACG, Eagles Clips? We got Steven Crace. We got Walt, Greg Miller, DB Cooper, Steven Crace, Jamar Gross. What's going on, dude? Yeah, we're William Pace. What's going on, man? Just 505. What's going on, dude? So it looks like I think they have meetings set up. So there's rumors out there right now. That hasn't been official yet from what's really going on, but it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles have some pre-draft visits set up already. I think one is Jalen Carter. It looks like Jalen Carter is going to be on a pre-draft visit with the Philadelphia Eagles, so that's a really, really good sign. Brian Barise as well from Clemson. That's another one that's set up. Now it says there's a third guy, but I don't know. I don't know who it is. I'm not sure like what it even is at this point. So kind of just waiting on more information with that. Should be more pre-draft visits real soon. So obviously got Bijan on a really short, on a really early pre-draft visit, and now and even now I think getting Jalen Carter in there is great. So I mean the interest, they have Jalen Carter on a pre-draft visit. Obviously the Eagles have a lot of interest in that, and obviously I do too, because I feel like even with the offensive line right now, I don't think they're drafting offensive line. Even giving that Lane Johnson that extension is great. There's already been kind of rumors with Lane Johnson as of right now that he might play for the next 2 years, and that's pretty much it. So I feel like maybe he feels like he's got another 2 years under his belt with the Philadelphia Eagles, I guess. And yeah, we're pretty much we're pretty much good, man. Like, and so like I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? What's been on your mind of this draft, and what's been really going on? Um, see here. Greenblood says, "Yo, DB Cooper, that's funny." It says, Key says, "Happy Saturday, go Lions." Hey, Eagles, you guys need to stop making so many moves. My Lions are trying to get near you guys, take over for the number 1 seed. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the Lions do. Not a big Jared Goff fan, but we'll see. We will see. Johnson was the best signing you've made so far. No one wave Zeke. Yeah, dude, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of bringing Zeke here. It's just going to be a waste of money at the end of the day, because I don't think Zeke is going to take like a $2 million 1-year deal from the Philadelphia Eagles, or at least from any team. I mean, I'd be shocked, but I don't think that's going to be. I don't think it's going to be the case though. Goff got small hands. Goff got small hands. I don't think they, you know what? I don't think, Walt, I don't think they draft safety in the first round. I don't know. I don't think they do. I would go into the second maybe, but I'm not sure if they draft a Brian Branch in the first round. I really don't. Unless they don't want to go after a running back, unless maybe they lose out on Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. I'm guessing maybe. It could be. Eagles clip. So, bro, I want Bijan so bad. 337 Eagles says, "Do you think we need another good receiver?" A lot of people were saying to get, Jackson in this draft. A lot of people feel like the Eagles might go receiver in the first round. They might actually shock everybody and get another weapon in here. Obviously, with Devontae Smith's contract, he's going to get re-signed, and AJ Brown they might let walk, and they might need another receiver in here. There's always been rumors of getting Jackson in this draft, JSN in this draft. So you never know what could happen, but there's a possibility. But I'd kind of be shocked if you ask me. Jess says, "I felt like Zeke takes less to come here to stick it to Jerry." It could be. It's probably. I mean, as of right now, like Zeke's list is obviously just a wish list. It doesn't really. It's really just a wish list. It's nothing much else than that. You know what I mean? Like I don't really take too much into it, but I feel like he has a little bit of interest to come here and kind of stick it to the Cowboys. So I could probably agree with that probably a little bit. Let me just put up the stream on my phone real quick. This way I can see what's going on here. See what's going on. So it could be a possibility. Jay Koch said, I think Howie has a top has five top draft prospects and meant to trade back a couple spots if they couldn't take the top prospect on their board. Yeah, I mean they could always trade back 2 to 3 spots. I could somewhat see that happen, but I'm not really into moving back unless they lose on players that they don't. I mean, someone's going to drop there. I mean, I'm hoping one of those defensive linemen drop there because at the end of the day, as much as I talk about Bijan Robinson, I do want to draft Jalen Carter. I do want to draft Will Anderson if they're there. As much as I think Anderson's going to go top 5, and I think Carter might, be top 9 at this point. It might not even make it past 9 with the Bears sitting there. Or the Seahawks could take him. They drafted a defensive tackle from Denver to a lot of money. They might want to line him up with another guy. So there could be a chance. You know what I mean? Video says, as long as our free agent acquisitions stay healthy and productive, we're good. Yeah, health is the most important thing, man. The Eagles, so they actually put out the dates for. There's no mandatory camp for the Eagles. Nick Sirianni doesn't believe in mandatory camp because that's where he thinks like guys are going to get hurt, and which is a great thing. It's been working for us. They're only one of 2 teams that don't have like mandatory camp. Which is like what, April 24th, April 20. I forgot what it was. But they're not going to have it again this year. Like they'll have regular mini camp and training camp, but when it comes to mandatory camp, they're not going to have it, where players could choose whether to show up or not. So it looks like they're going to do that again this year, and not risk injury on players. So that's probably another thing to look at. No Flies, Gigs, 2722 says, what do we think Neal and Edmonds tandem? I mean, I like it. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I want to see what Reed Blankenship could do. He had a nice sample size last year. Yeah, Keanu Neal came in on a visit the other day. So I don't know if if they sign like a third safety, they're not going after it in the draft. Okay, if Keanu Neal, I mean, look, you got 11 to 12 draft picks next year. An extra second round pick next year. I feel like, yeah, Keanu Neal could be a possibility to add him as another versatile player that can play safety and outside linebacker if you really want to add in more a veteran presence. Because they have, Reed, they got Edmonds now. Now they have, they have Justin Evans. So there are, a good amount of guys on the safety spot right now. So not too bad. You know what I mean? Not too bad. No Flies says, am I wrong? Did Marcus Blair, whom on the PS, get a reserve future contract? I have no idea. And Anthony Nevis says maybe they're giving Quez one last chance. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. Quez Watkins might be getting another shot. I honestly don't know. We haven't seen a trade. You're not going to get much for him anyway at this point. So, I don't think you're going to get much for him. Maybe a 5th round pick. I mean, if everyone expects you're going to get like a 4th, I mean, if they get a 4th, I'll be shocked. If they get a 4th, that's pretty much a steal for us if they get Quez Watkins for a 4th round pick. But I don't even think that's going to happen as well. You know what I mean? Walt said Carter will be gone by the time we get there. I don't want to trade back, but moving back a couple times, they're picking up Bijan and having some extra capital doesn't hurt my feelings. No, I don't mind it. If they move a couple picks back, if they move a couple spots back to get an extra mid-round pick to kind of stay alive in this draft a little bit, so they're not disappearing from the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds of this draft, could be a possibility. So we'll see. Lamar Joe says, I don't want Zeke at all. He burnt out because of how much he was used and abused. Penny is good paired with Bijan and Gainwell. I just don't think that the Eagles are comfortable with the running back spot right now because Penny's got to stay healthy. Scott is barely even used during the year. I mean, he wasn't barely used last year until maybe mid to end of the year. He was really used. He was strictly just a kick return guy. And Gainwell, I think they really do like. It's just that I don't think they think of him as like that, lead back. I just don't. Rashad Penny's great. Stays healthy. He's a better back than Miles Sanders. I mean, gets to the second level, makes guys miss 9 out of 10 times. I mean, is a pure stud. But it really just depends. I don't think they're satisfied. I think they want more at this position. If you look at the writing on the wall if you look at the writings on the wall with some of these players, it really comes down to they tried getting CMC last year in the trade. They tried, even when Zeke was drafted to the Cowboys, the Eagles had a lot of interest in Zeke when he, came out in the draft. Leonard Fournette was I know Leonard Fournette went top 5, but they had a lot of interest in him, and they didn't want they couldn't move up to get him because they had other priorities. They're in a perfect position right now to get the guy that they want. I don't think Bijan's going in the first 9 picks, and if he does, I'll be shocked. Because the 4 quarterbacks being taken other needs from other teams right now that probably don't need running backs. The Philadelphia Eagles are in a pretty good spot right now to draft that dude and get stuff done. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. We have a super chat from Daniel Ortega. Thank you so much, man. He says, with the lane restructure, I think we'll go after a stopgap vet for the DT and go heavy on offense on the draft. Use draft capital next year's draft. Yeah, interesting to say. I feel like the Eagles have one more good move in them. I was thinking maybe a Devin White trade. I was thinking maybe, something like that, maybe. Quentin Jefferson is still available at defensive tackle. In free agency. He's 29 years old. He had 5.5 sacks last year. I think would be a really good rotational piece. I still think they need like 2 defensive tackles, at least 1 defensive end. Maybe they add a linebacker, or maybe they're set with Nicholas Morrow. I don't know. And then they already added 2 safeties already with Justin Evans and getting Edmonds in the building now. So I know they might be done at safety, but they might be done at linebacker. I'm not really sure. They should add another linebacker. Obviously, you have undrafted free agents. They'll sign and see if there's anybody there that could really play well. I don't really have much trust in Davion Taylor staying healthy, or I think it's kind of done with him. Like after 21, I was kind of done. And then he kind of got hurt this past last off season in 22. So I feel like you got some good value there, but I feel like they should add it. They should add another piece. So we'll see. We'll see. Next year's draft is going to have a lot of picks on top of that Jalen Hurts extension. Plus, there's 4 players you can get restructures for. The Eagles can create cap space pretty easily next year, so I'm not really worried about it too much. We got Dan take it to the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, for defense, my last post was 2. No, you're good. You're good, man. I get it. You only type in a certain amount of words. I totally get it. J Rod says Cooks went for a 5th. Ain't no way Watkins gets a 5th. More like a 7. I mean, probably. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they got a 6th, 7th rounder for him. It wouldn't surprise me. A 5th maybe is too steep, so it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, a lot of choking. He's a terrible person. Dewey says Zeke had no more runs than average running back. Why draft a running back if you don't run him? Well, what do you mean? You're talking about if the Eagles draft a running back? You're talking about how the Cowboys, use the crap out of Zeke. I mean, to the point where it's like Derrick Henry has a lot more tread on the tires, than Zeke has. No Philly's Zone Gang says, why do we all feel that Sermon isn't worth it, or Brooks? Oh, I don't think Brooks had a big chance, man. I mean, Brooks, I like Kennedy Brooks a lot. Played with Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma. Is a north and south type player, very patient at the line. I mean, he's a tough runner, but they didn't, with 2 preseason games now, and you're putting everything into joint practices and taking more value into the joint practice that Nick Sirianni does like. It's hard for me to say that Kennedy Brooks is really going to have a chance. You know what I mean? Trey Sermon, yeah, they used him for 2 snaps. I mean, that's really it. That's all they used him, like 2 snaps, and that was pretty much it. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of nuts, but I mean, I don't know if he's even going to have a chance, to be honest. I mean, I like the running back competition. I think there's more. I think they add another body. I really think they do. Sometimes I have a strong suspicion we're getting Bobby Wagner. Joey, don't ask me why. There's a lot of people thinking that Bobby Wagner might come here. I mean, that would be perfect. If they were able to get Bobby Wagner, I mean, he was top 10 for tackles for loss last season. Did a really good job. Even for his age, he's still a great player. But what is he looking for? Why isn't he signed yet? Is he looking for more money? Is he looking for more years? I don't know. But obviously, he would be a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. It wouldn't be that much for me. Lady J says, I hope the Eagles aren't talking about trading A.J. Brown. We don't want to be on the sidelines looking like a Tennessee Titans are doing. No, that's definitely not happening. Trading A.J. Brown. Who's talking about that? Sky says, Joey, why do we simply move Vontae Maddox to free safety and keep Greedy in the slot along with Terrell Edmonds at strong safety? Because I don't think they're going to make a huge position change with him. I really don't. Greedy can't play inside. He's strictly outside. Greedy's going to get burned on the inside. I think I think the Eagles are going to get the best out of Greedy Williams. And who knows, man? Greedy might come in and, he's not going to start, obviously, but I think I'm hoping Greedy can make some noise at camp and play really well. So, you never know what you're going to get, Yo, GG, what's going on, dude? Jason, good morning, Joey. I had a bad dream that we're sticking with Covey at punt return. You know what? The dream might come true. The bad dream might come to a reality. So, I would give Devin Allen a shot. If they can give him a shot, I wouldn't mind it at all, Lamar says, I like the idea of Devin White, but he'll be upward $20 million a year after his this year, so he would really be a rental, but how he can give a shot and have Dean at the third line. No, Devin White would be a rental. But the problem is I don't like giving away draft capital for players you're only going to rent, and that's what Howie likes to do. You gave up 2 picks. You gave up a pick for Robert Quinn, a 4th rounder for Robert Quinn. You gave up 2 picks for Chauncey, and you couldn't re-sign him. And obviously, it was his fault. And Chauncey every day still taking shots at Jalen Hurts. I don't know what his problem is. They had like a poll about, who was the best QB last year or something like that. It was a picture of a few quarterbacks. And Jalen Hurts was on it, and he said Lamar Jackson or something like that. It's a joke now, he's just becoming a big joke. And this is what happens, bro. This is what happens to players when they make bad decisions. They lash out because they're getting attacked by the fan base. And, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. It's a shitty feeling, but he's been really bitter, man. He's just been too bitter, unfortunately. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? We got James Madalena. What's going on, dude? Thank you for joining the Shake Squad Army, man. The Shake Squad Soldier tier, all the extra draft content that's on there right now. If you guys haven't joined in the pin comment, definitely join up. Appreciate it so much for joining up, man. Thank you so much, James, for joining the Army, dude. Appreciate it so much. Kate says, we are pretty solid on offense as of right now. Need another running back for sure. I hope Cam does well at right guard. I like Quez, but we will see what happens with that. So far, some good moves on defense, but is it enough? I don't think it is, dude. I don't think Howie's done. I don't think Howie is actually done with what he's doing yet. I don't think so. I think Howie's still got a lot more to do. I think we're good with Jurgens at right guard. Running back, I feel like they can add another running back. We all know his name. Quez is going to be the big question. He really has to turn it up next year. If they're keeping him as the third option, if they like him enough, I don't know. We'll find out by training camp what happens here. If even drafting a receiver, and who knows what they do. If they draft like JSN in the first round, I'll be shocked. You know what I mean? Quez has got 1 more year left on his deal. He's a free agent after this year. So technically, when you look at it, free agent wise, I think you have less free agents, no doubt, going into next year. But when you look at it with some of the players that are on this roster, obviously, Kelsey could be gone. Kelsey's gone, and then you have then the right guard spot's gonna be pretty empty right now. Quez Watkins could be gone. I think Sweat is a free agent. I'm not sure, but I'm not really sure about it. You're gonna have some free agents. Fletcher's gonna be gone. Brandon Graham's gonna be gone. So they gotta literally, they have to have a good draft this year. They really have to have a good draft. They should have 3 potential starters this year, which would really help the future. Definitely. Want to stay competing, that's what you do. You know what I mean? So, Kate, thank you for the super chat very much, man. I do appreciate it very much, man. What's going on, Suo? What's going on, Matthew? What's going on, guys? Henry says, imagine if Howie signs Aaron Donald after the season, we would be unstoppable and might get a Super Bowl win. I want that to happen so bad. He's the best DT we need. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he wants to go anywhere else. I think he wants to stay in LA. I don't think he would go to another team, to be honest. That's just me, I don't think he would. James says, not much, Sean. How about you having a friend coming over later? Moved a little over a month ago. Well, dude, I hope the move was good, man, and I hope you enjoy your day today. So, hope you enjoy your day. DB says Howie is not as good as people think. Look, at the end of the day, Okay. I don't know how, when you have that many free agents and Howie Roseman can literally sign a lot of guys the way he's been doing it. Howie Roseman is, there's no GMs that copy Howie Roseman, like the Rams. The Jets have done it, a few years ago. You're not going to get far in this league, and Howie Roseman is always looking to the future and always 10 steps ahead of all these GMs because look at all the comp picks the Eagles are getting next year. You know what I mean? So I mean, I would like to hear a reason why he's not as good as everyone thinks, just stating he isn't, but not saying what it is. So here we go. So we need a running back. Rashad Penny is overweight and out of shape. He's not overweight. He's good. He's in shape. Killer Ghost says, "Hey Joey, how's it going? Any news of yet today?" Yeah, there's no news today, man. Today is just a chill day today. And just kind of seeing what other moves Howie Roseman's gonna make. Now, cap space update. They always update the wrong numbers. I mean, it makes no sense because Edmonds didn't sign for a big deal, so I don't get how the Eagles aren't top 10 in cap space. They should be right now. I looked at the list before, and I guess it was kind of wrong. I don't know why that wasn't even the case, but Nate Banks, what's going on? Says last year we used 2 linebackers again scheme. I expect to turn back to 3 and use Max on certain downs. Open spot next to Dean and Morrow. Yeah, there is an open spot there. I feel like they can add another player there. I feel like they do. I mean, like they had 3 last year. They had 3 last year. Use them in certain cadences, but. Kaiser White leaving, TJ Edwards leaving. Now you got Nakobe Dean, you got Nicholas Morrow. Now I think Nicholas Morrow is going to be a very underrated player here. I think you actually have 2 coverage linebackers now. Nicholas Morrow was a safety turn linebacker. He's got some speed to him. I don't think he's slow. People are like, "Oh, he's slow." I'm like, he's not slow, dude. The guy's coverage is really good. And like what I like, we haven't even heard from Sean Desai yet for a press conference. I'm like, I don't know why we haven't heard from him yet. I mean, it's a new hiring. So hopefully he gets something done. So we'll see. We'll see. Fitch says trade Quez for Bobby Wagner rental. Yeah, I mean, anybody that the Eagles sign now are going to be rentals. Unless they really want to get a player and keep him in here for for long term. It's just a different story. So, yeah, Sweat's been a good player every year, man. Every year, Sweat's been getting better. I've had no problem with Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat's a great player. We had that little injury scare last year, so glad he was okay after that because that really did scare me last year. Let's see here. Savvy says, "What up, Joey? What's going on, Sav?" Mine says you don't want a Bijan so much. Penny is better. That's definitely not true. It's definitely. I mean, they're 2 different. I mean, they're 2 different backs. Bijan is not even. It's Rashad Penny is not even close to what Bijan is. Rashad's good in his own running style, but Jay says Howie is the Brian Cashman of the NFL, hardest working man in showbiz. Nance says I'd give Quez one more shot and let him play last year of his rookie deal. Still a high ceiling. Yeah, I feel like there's still something there, but like, they kind of phased him out of the offense last year. I think because he had that like shoulder sprain, but then you like really put it on him to make plays in the Super Bowl, like even that drop pass, like. Yeah, it really annoyed me. Like he wasn't inconsistent games, but yet they used him in that last game and like try to make him the star of the game for that big catch that would have got us in the red zone downfield. So, I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know. They got to have some type of plan for Quez this year, if they have trust in him. As a number 3 wide receiver, like you don't. There's a lot of times where you really don't get the ball. You have your number 1, your number 2, or for the Eagles' sake, they got 2 number 1 receivers right now. You have a tight end that they like to really use. I'm actually excited to see what Brian Johnson will do with this offense. I feel like they will expand the playbook. I feel like, the one thing I did want this offseason was Brian Johnson to be here with Jalen Hurts. So after seeing that there was a big chance he was become the OC, I was pretty happy about it, so. Mott says, what are the chances that Howie trades back in the draft? I mean, yeah, there's a chance. I don't feel like they should unless there's a player that they want or they're aiming for, and they want to move a couple spots. That's fine because they need to get some mid-round picks because they have no 4th, 5th, 6th rounders this year. Rejo Melly says Eagles high pressure package was Nichols sub package. Josh says Zeke won't be here for the red zone offense only. He would protect Jalen from injury, taking those short and runs for first down. Zeke gave up on Dallas because they went pass happy and then added Tony. Get him. Um, I'm still not a fan. I wouldn't bring him in just because to protect Jalen Hurts. Like, obviously, if you draft Bijan Robinson, that's already going to be set for you, which you don't have to do all these QB sneaks. You don't have to, running with Jalen Hurts and run design is just a luxury for us in our offense because he can extend plays and get easy first downs. But getting a running back of Bijan Robinson's caliber in this offense, it's going to protect Jalen Hurts and take pressure off him a lot more to have him in the room. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, if Rashad Penny goes down, you're down to Scott and Gainwell. I mean, that's it. Sorry, my allergies have been kicking in the past week. So, the only way I'd be using Zeke really if they sign him would be like in red zone. Like, that's it. 5 carries a game. That's why, I'd be paying him like $1 million, $2 million for the year. I wouldn't pay him that much if it was a possibility that it was going to happen, which I really hope it doesn't happen. Yo, Chris Scott, what's going on, dude? He says, Shakes, brother, what's good? Howie will make one more move. I believe it's going to be Byard. As for linebacker, Morrow and Dean both are great in coverage. Yes. Byard's an interesting trade. They haven't released him. They want him to take a pay cut. He's making over $13 million this year. He's making a lot of money. If they don't get a pay cut, they'll release him. That was a report, and that was from last week. And we haven't heard anything else for that Byard trade or a post-June trade or something like that. I don't think the Eagles should trade for him, obviously, because you have to give up some draft capital for him. He's a good player. The Titans have a new GM now, so this isn't the same GM that traded, that let AJ Brown go. And obviously was, the Titans were pretty much really, they were embarrassed coming to Philadelphia, and that embarrassment, that ass whooping that they took in Philadelphia. A lot of fans had us losing that game. A lot of rival fans had us losing that game. I think that really opened. I don't know. A lot of people got nervous when the Eagles beat them, by double digits. They did a really good job. So we'll see. Yeah, Kay with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. It says, I think we are in a great spot coming off of a Super Bowl with draft leverage. Crazy, but I'm interested to see how these coaches start the season off. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm more nervous about the defensive coordinator more than the offensive coordinator, but Sean Desai, he's got some good things. He's got good things to talk about. He had less talent in 21. He's a Vic Fangio disciple apprentice. He was Sean Desai was a director of personnel for the defensive quality control coach, whatever, for the Bears for a few years. Became the coordinator in 21. Okay, they were top 5 against the pass. They were bottom 10 against the run, so they weren't great against the run, but they probably didn't have a lot of good players. It was a lot less of a talent type team with the Bears in 21 with Sean Desai. So they're against the pass, they were really good, but they were top 5 in sacks that year. So at least with Sean Desai, his blitz rate is 23.6. Gannon's blitz rate was 9.5% last year, which is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It makes you roll your eyes. Like, it really does. The average, what was it? The average team blitzes like 25%, something like that. And he blitzed only 9.5%, man. At least you're getting a coach that blitzes over 20%, which is good. You know what I mean? So that's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate the super chat very much, man. Jay said Zeke is a serious downgrade. Still, running backs like him don't ascend. He was amazing. Benjamin says, hey, Joey, all signs pointing towards us taking Bijan in this draft. If we get Bijan, I'd be stoked. I'd be shocked. But at the same time, got to stay, I feel like there's a good chance. I feel like there's a change. The Eagles are going to take a big change in this draft. They're going to go, the different things are going to happen. So we'll see. Terrence, I don't know if any teams want Zeke. Welcome to the XFL. Nate says Linval Jones would be a smart player to bring back. Nice veteran to have. I like Linval a lot because he's immovable, and to have another run stuffer in the building would be great. I think it'd be a good sign, but he's probably going to be one of those players, just like Sue, is going to wait. 8, 9 games down the road, 10 games down the road, or more than that, and wait to see if they can win another ring with the team. I think that's what they're going to try. I think that's what they're going to try and do, if that's the case. But we'll see though when the time comes. But yes, my camera was off. I had to do something quick. David says, is Dean being good in coverage based on his 8 minutes of NFL time? No, I mean it comes off. It comes off some of his tape, but he was in coverage a couple times. He was in coverage a few times when he had times when he did play for the Eagles defense this year when they took some of their starters out. He did play pretty well in some coverage, so I feel like he will be a good coverage guy if they use him the right way. I feel like you didn't have a perfect coverage set of linebackers with obviously with the two that we had in Kaiser White and TJ Edwards, but I thought TJ has been a very solid player for us. Very, very solid. I thought he was a very good player for us. He just wasn't a big coverage guy. And I think Gannon's adjustments kind of affected all these players too. Not going to blame everything on the players, but at the same time, you see the weaknesses in a lot of these players that, happen. So, Chris says, the more I think about it, I don't see us trading down from 10 or 30. How will take best player available? We have 12 picks and 24. If anything, we could trade up. Yeah, I feel like the Eagles could trade up, but they're going to sit where they're at. I don't think they trade back. 30 might be a possibility. Maybe if they want more picks, maybe there's a player that they do want. I don't know. But I could see them taking DT. I could see them moving up from 30 to get a running back. Who knows? They could use that extra second round pick this past year. They can use that extra second rounder for next year or in 24 in that draft as well. So they could definitely do that. James says Dean is good in pass coverage because we were all too willing to let TJ go. He also says, how do you cancel memberships? There should be a setting, I think, that you go to. I think there's like a setting you can go to, I think, in YouTube. Dole said we would basically only be using Zeke for 2, maybe 3 games against Dallas. If we could sign him cheap just for that, revenge factor, it might be worth it. We will see. We will see. We'll give up. Terrence said, not seeing the buyer since we got Edmonds, save the money on someone else. Let's see here. Benjamin says, hey, Joey, all signs for winter. I think I already read that. Let's see here. See, Double says we would basically only be using Zeke for 2, maybe 3 games against Dallas. If we could sign him cheap just for that revenge factor, it might be worth it. Yeah, I mean that's just like the only thing like that he probably wants, to be honest with you. Probably the only thing he wants, but I'm just not into it. Plus, the money factor is going to be an issue. I don't think he's coming here for $2 million on 1 year. It's just not going to happen. He's going to be in a rotation. He's not going to get many snaps. He's not going to be a main back in Philadelphia. He'll be used for red zone or something like that, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. Coach, I cannot wait for the draft to happen already. This season is going to be great for the offense. I'm hoping defense looks good too. Smitty Eagle says, hey, Joey. Oh, yeah, I watched you the other day, bro. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great show, Smitty Eagle. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Smitty Eagle, he is a content creator for the Eagles. Definitely subscribe to his channel if you guys haven't. If you have Twitter, just follow me on there. Message me, email me. My email's in there. If you want, just contact me. We could do something. I'm down for it. I'm down for it, man. You know it. Chris said Slay isn't old. He hasn't lost a step. Stop the false narrative. I thought, in all honesty, dude, with Slay, I thought he had a weird second half. Second half of the season, he kind of, I don't know. I don't think he fell off, but I feel like he didn't play up to par second half of the season. That's just me. But not as I don't think he's still a good player. I think he's still a very great corner. But I think what they've kind of did with him, and this is what comes to adjustments with Jonathan Gannon, I think what they did pretty much was they kind of stopped shadowing him on the number 1 guy. You know what I mean? I think they stopped shadowing him, and that I think was a really big problem. James says, what do you think Elliott wants of Elliott want to be an Eagle? I don't even care, to be honest. Gerardo says Tank Dell from Houston, either pick 62 or 94. Tank Dell is interesting because I think the problem is Tank Dell is got to be a more of a mid rounder for me because he's more of a, what is he, like 5'8", 160 something pounds. He's small, man. He's really small, but I feel like Tank Dell will be one of those late rounders that you can use for special teams. I don't know because I don't want to get another what's his name that we had in here? What's the guy from what's the guy from UCF? The guy from UCF we had in here that was really small but like really fast, and he just was too small. What's his name, guys? The guy from UCF he came in. I think he came in here undrafted. Oh my God. No. The guy we had on our roster a few years ago. Remember that small running back that played wide receiver and special teams? He was a running back, but they had him cross trained. No. Killings. There you go. Adrian Killings. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, D-Block. Yeah, Adrian Killings. He reminds me of like another Adrian Killings. I don't know if he's going to last in the NFL with that body type he has. AK-47. Right. I was a big fan of him, but he was just too small. Why do you think these smaller type running backs do really well in the NFL? Because they have those big lower bodies. Pause. But they do. That's how they get away with it, So we don't need another Pumphrey. Oh, man. I get it. Yo, Rock, what's going on, dude? Jordan Addison, wide receiver in the 3rd round. I think the Cowboys might actually take him. I have the Cowboys actually taking a receiver. I think Jordan Addison might be a Cowboy, to be honest. Gentleman, the coach says the fact that we blitz 9% with 70 sacks is crazy. Just goes to show how good this defense could have been. Yeah, it could have been the best in NFL history. I've said it a million times. Like, I don't want these players bailing out Sean Desai this year. You know what I mean? I don't want these players bailing out Sean Desai. Like, these players bailed out Gannon. Gannon had a stacked defense and did nothing with it. Yeah, he got us 14 wins with that defense. Or you say our offense got us 14 wins. But at the end of the day, man, like, I think it would have been the best in history. They probably could have had over 90 sacks this year. Like, no joke. Putting Hassan Reddick in coverage, like, first half of the season. Like, why? It's crazy, man. Here we go. Says Bijan, running back 1. Killer Ghost says, football topic, but I was wondering what made you get into streaming? How long have you been streaming for? Just curious. You're talking about just the channel in general or just streaming? Or just get into pretty much like there was no Eagle fans in New York, and like I wanted to just lash out and vent to people about this team, and I mean that's really it. That's pretty much how it started, to be honest. It was just like, I feel like just maybe making videos, but I had no plan really. I mean, Chris says people don't sleep on Dean. He'll be better player than Edwards or White. His instincts are incredible, and he's smart. He's really smart, man. Really smart. Says that's a good survey to put up, Joey. Do you want Elliott or not? I do not. If you're asking me, I want Zeke here. I don't want him here. Period. It's plain and simple. Dave Lewis says 50% first round picks are busts. Giving up capital to move up doesn't make sense to me. As giving Howie's track record, especially given Howie's track record. Nah, I'm not really too much. The track record hasn't been. I mean, the past 2 seasons it hasn't been, because I feel like Howie Roseman. The thing is that people don't understand right now is that Howie Roseman didn't have full control those other years. These last 2 off seasons, Howie Roseman has had full control. Jeffrey Lurie has gotten in the way of these draft picks. Okay, Andy Weidel had gotten in the way of a lot of these draft picks. There's no doubt. Charles, you needed Zeke to give you 2 yards. He will get you 2 yards. If you need him to get you 10, he will get you 2 yards. Johnson, I want Bijan first. I don't care about history. I don't either, dude. Like, I don't care if we haven't drafted a running back in the first round since since the 80s. That doesn't matter to me. Why is that the narrative of what the Eagles have done? Like, if I could talk about narrative, the narrative is they don't draft linebackers early, and they don't put money into that position, to be honest, but they just don't put money into it. They got Dean in the 3rd round, dead cheap. They got Nicholas Morrow, cheap. They don't put money into linebacker. They don't put money into that position. They try to be sneaky with it and try to get some, gems in that position. Like, they'll never put money into linebacker. They'll never do it. They'll never put money into linebacker. They'll never put money into running back. Only if the guy's drafted making some money. Obviously, it's a different story. It's not a big contract, a 1st-round contract, but still, we'll see. But safety, they care more about than a lot of positions. Safety is a good one because I feel like they value safety a lot more than running back. They value safety a lot more than linebacker. Bob says, I want to see the Eagles get Jalen Carter on the right tackle from the University of Tennessee. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not skipping anybody. Jay, it seems like our defense changed to become reactions and less aggressive after the Texans game. Davon Tyree says, Joey, what are we going to do at linebacker and safety? Are we done? Do you feel the defense will be the same like last year? The defense is definitely not going to be the same as last year. It's not. You're not going to get 70 sacks. Probably not. It's probably not going to happen. Because what Howie's moves that he made last year was just on a different level last year, and this year he's still making really good moves. But you're going to have to get more creative. This defensive coordinator is going to have to actually do his job and not, and I feel like, I'm not saying it's just a blitzing and stuff like that, but he's just a better defensive coordinator all around. And I think he will be better than Gannon. I think he'll put players in the right positions to win football games. I feel like they can add another linebacker. I feel like they can add another safety. I feel like they could add another 2 guys at those 2 spots. It just depends. They've already added 2 more safeties already. They've added 1 linebacker so far. They might add 1 more. Darlene's back. Your defense is not the best in history. I give you even close to 85 Bears and 2,000 Ravens. Defense is way better. I thought they would have had the best defense last year, and I think they would have made a lot of history last year. So the what ifs are what ifs at the end of the day. The Eagles didn't get it done. So that's the way it goes. Darling says Daniel defense. Okay. Was pretty good, but if you start to lost way too many players on your defense to be even good this year, I don't get what that means at all. Dave says the last draft cannot be judged until they actually play. Let's see here. Josh says, what up, Joey 72? What's going on, Josh? Don says your defense couldn't stop the run. Look it up. They couldn't stop the run early in the season. Yeah, they weren't good against the run. After Jordan Davis got hurt, yeah, they had an issue. They had an issue early in the season. They had an issue with that early season because Fletcher Cox was playing too much, was playing 70% playing 70% of the snaps. Until they got Linval and Sue in the building, that the run game against the run got a lot better. It got a lot better. So Chris says Gann was a liability. Our sacks mainly come from the D lineman. We had an incredible rotation. If anything, our D line coach should get props. If it wasn't for him, we win the Super Bowl. He might be a hero in Philadelphia. He might be a hero here if we win that game. You never know. Yeah, Zach Charbonnet is a great player, man. I mean, he's a bulldozer. He's a freak athlete. He's a nice bruiser back with really good elusiveness, great vision. I love Charbonnet. As much as Charbonnet, welcomes contact, he likes to give it as well. Really good in open space, makes guys miss. I mean, for a bigger back, I think he's fantastic. Love Zach Charbonnet. Jason says, seems like our defensive MO changed after the Texans game. We became more reactionary, 10 yards off and stopped bringing heat. Why do you think Gann changed the script? Because I don't think he knew what he was doing. That's why. Because his philosophy is, get points on the board, get a lead, and then you start to pull back, tackle guys in bounds, take your corners 8 to 10 yards off the ball, and like you said, be reactionary. And hold these teams to field goals. Like our statistics should have been a lot better defensively than what they should have been, because you step on a team's neck and you have them where you want them. And then you let go, and then you take your foot off their neck a little bit. You breathe life into the other team, and they start coming back. And even that Lions game was like, Jesus. Like, even the first game of the season, I was like, God damn, dude. Like, I mean, he totally just relaxed in that second half. It was just crazy, man. It was just nuts. O'Donnell says, Angency 19 tackles, 4 assists while making 21 stops as a pass rusher. He produced 47 total pressures, which include a huge 30 QB hits, 9 QB hits, and an impressive 8 sacks on the year. Angency is going to be a beast. Angency is going to be special. If I'm not taking Jalen Carter, I would take Kalijah. No joke. I don't know if I would take him at 10, though. I don't know if I would take him at 10. You might move back a few to get him if that's where they want to go. If they go in direction they're not getting Bijan, and like with if they feel like that's what it is, you could go get Angency as well. It's another option on the board. So, Cansey's average, dude. Cansey's not too small. What are you talking about? He's average size. He's average size for a DT. How is he too small? I don't get the whole perspective on him being too small. I don't get it. Darlene says, "Can you ask me why you don't want Elliott as one of the best running backs?" You got to be like really stupid. Like, you have to be a dumb fan to even ask me why I would want what running backs are on the Eagles roster right now. Why would I want Elliott added to what we have right now? Why would I, with a heavy running back draft class, why would I want Ezekiel Elliott in this backfield for more money? For what? What is he going to really give this football team? Simple as that. Josh said we need a running back with the first pick, move up and get Bijan. Davis says when one team scores 35 and the other team scores 38, defense definitely makes a difference. Yeah, it does. I get it. I get it. Yeah, punter. We definitely need a punter, no doubt. Eagle Clip says Keith Byars was the last first-round running back. That's crazy, dude. Kilgrove says, would you be willing to get a DT at 10 and then trade up our 30th pick and maybe a second year for Bijan? DT at 10 and then trade up our 30th. Yeah, I mean, that's another option. They could trade up from 30 if they really want. They could draft Carter and they can get it. They can move up to get him if they want. I might be a Cowboys fan, but Zeke is still one of the best running backs. Not anymore. Not anymore. He's not a premier back anymore. That's the truth. Bijan says Philly stinks. I don't know. I don't know if he stinks. He's our 6th pre-draft visit this past year. I think he's the first team that he visited this year. So I don't know. I don't think he thinks Philly stinks that much. I don't care about anyone else. I want a punter named Tommy Downs. What? Toro said my favorite running back in the draft is Kedra Miller. He reminds me of a cross between Le'Veon Bell and Aaron Jones. He'll probably go late 3rd or 4th. Great running backs like Pearson Walker didn't go in round 1. I totally understand that. I'm telling you, like they could, but we don't have any mid-round picks. We have a 3rd rounder, but we don't have any mid-round picks. You know what I mean? If you want to get a generational talent, you go get them. You know what I mean? This is a luxury pick at the end of the day. You're never going to have the 10th overall pick ever again. If you want your offense to be good for years and not have to worry about a running back position, because really after this year, you're down to Kenneth Gainwell yet again by himself next year. And that's all you're getting, man. That's all you're getting out of him. I mean, I think they like Gainwell a lot, but I don't think they think he's anything, I don't think they think of him as a lead back at all in the league. So, we'll see. Rogue says, I say Bobby Wagner draft B. Robinson at 10 and try to move up with the Saints pick at 24 to get your defensive tackle or defensive end or safety or maybe an offensive lineman. Yeah, I wouldn't even care if they drafted Bijan, they moved up and they want to go get if Carter and Anderson were already gone, they drafted Bijan, they moved up from their 2nd first round pick, and even if they got I don't know. I mean, even if they got, Miles Murphy, or they got, they want to go on the edge and get Miles Murphy, or they want to go get, Will McDonald, if they want to get, Van Ness, if they really wanted. I mean, there's plenty of defensive linemen. I mean, God, I mean, the bodies they could add. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? You got to look at the future too at the defensive end position. Graham could be gone next year. Barnett's gone. Obviously, that's not gonna make a big difference, but hopefully he has a good year this year. If Sweat, I don't know if Sweat's gonna get another extension either. You know what I mean? So that could be another position. So we'll see. You're right. Your problem is not a running back. Your problem on defense, and let me tell you, don't lose 5 great players. What are you talking about? 5 great? You're acting like they were like. What are you talking about? Five? What are you doing? 5 great players? What are you talking about? I don't get this. The only player that was a huge loss to this team, and I'd say this is probably Hargrave. Other than that, like, they weren't paying him $21 million a year. Like, I don't get what like, you I don't get it, because the as a defense for the Philadelphia Eagles, this defense doesn't have to do that much this year. They have to play average at best just to make stops. They don't have to be the number one defense this year. They have a high-powered offense right now. They don't need to. That defense, all they have to do is play average little to that to make stops. Let your offense be, put points on the board. Like, that's all they need to do this year. You know what I mean? That's all I need to do. Dave says the only team in the NFC has had a team as good as Philly and San Francisco, and that's only if they have a QB who could stand upright the whole game. Chase says Darlene and Yacht spreading false info about the birds and a drunken suitor. Devon Anderson Jr. says Bijan isn't AP, but he is on the same level as Saquon or a young Zeke. I'd love him in Philly, especially if we trade back a few spots and still get him. Yeah, I'm on this train, man. I'm not getting off of it. I'm on this train. I'm never getting off of the Bijan Robinson train. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Eagles Clip says Eagles want pretenders, as people say, and then there was. Let's see. Yeah, Brisker's a good player, bro. No, he says Gann failed to make key adjustments during the Super Bowl. Plus, he didn't do Joe justice with the defensive ends and quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl was a lot more than just the Eagles losing it. There was a lot of other factors in that game I'm not going to get into, but there was a lot of other factors in that game I really wasn't happy with. Not even about the defense. There was a lot more going on in that game than expected. So, crazy. Jason 70 tackles. Edmonds will have 70 tackles by himself. Killer Ghost says, do you know when Sean Desai is going to have his first press conference as Eagles DC? I'm curious. Yeah, no, I've been waiting for that press conference. There hasn't been nothing. Like, there hasn't been there's been nothing. There's been absolutely nothing at all. It's kind of weird. So Eagles says Hurts has more playoff wins than Dak. Dak has been in the league for 8 years. Joe says, Handpink, Wayne and Joey, please talk about how the running backs are figuring to be in the first 2-3 rounds compared to Bijan. Oh, Bijan. Who is Joel Martell? I know who Joel Martell is. Hold on. Here we go. Jack Quinn. No, it's not going to work. Hold on. Oh, who got timed out? Who got timed out? Who's getting timed out? What happened, GG? He say something bad? Joey is nice. I don't want to troll him. You can do whatever you want. It's all right. I could deal with it. It is what it is, man. That's what you're gonna have to deal with, you know. Hertz VFX says the more I think about it, I just want to cry. This Eagles team was the best in history, but number one defense gave up 38. Gannon will be fired by midseason. Tommy Johnson, Kevin Byard, Bijan Robinson. Kevin Byard, Bijan Robinson will be good. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, it was very upsetting. It was a very, 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 very upsetting game. The way it turned out in the second half was just even the Jalen Hurts fumble, the scoop and score was pretty bad, but the easy, I mean, that was off of a offsides by Samalo on a QB sneak, which was that a QB sneak, an offsides QB sneak turned into a fumbled by Jalen Hurts scoop and score. That really did hurt us. But he came back. You know, I mean, it really showed like the outside noise does not affect this guy at all. And Jalen Hurts. I mean, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So I think even with him, like I mean, it never affected him like that. But the punt return affected us. You know, the defense on those two jet motion plays, those fake jet motion that we got tricked on the same play on each side. I think one was on Max, one was on Slay. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Hollywood Hogan says Jalen Carter sounds like a real winner. Flees the scene of an accident with two dead bodies. Wonder how you would feel if they were your family in that car. Oh my God. You don't know the whole, I don't know the whole situation, and you don't know the whole situation. And that's not even, that's 100% not true. Probably not even true. So I don't know what that is even all about, but damn, people are ruthless, bro. Like, no joke. Hurt says punts can win or lose games. Look what happened when you have good punter or trash punter. If you have a good punter and kick return, average punter, yeah, that's what happens, dude. You the third part of your game. I think you want to say a weakness for the Philadelphia Eagles is special teams, 100%. From punter to kick returner to I mean Boston Scott. I mean Boston Scott ain't anything special on kick returns either. Like he's nothing special, but you know, like give somebody else. You know, I think they should definitely. I feel comfortable with Boston Scott at kick returns more than. And I mean, I don't like Covey. It's just I think there's more blocking scheme. I think it's more scheme with Michael Clay as a defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? I think that's what it comes down to as well. Move down a little bit. Geez, you're not gonna troll. Yeah, definitely. If anyone does racial stuff, you boot them out. Boot them out of here. Simple as that. Jay says Bijan going to be called Dijon because he's bringing the mustard to Philly. I said this yesterday on the stream. I said pretty much, you're going to have Bijan mustard in Philadelphia. Andrew says if Jalen Carter calls the accident, he would have been charged with criminal charges. Stupid. People are dumb. People are dumb. Like if like something seriously happened, like yeah, I mean he would not even be. He wouldn't be doing. He wouldn't be at the combine. He wouldn't be doing any of this. They wouldn't even welcome him over there. Philly Wise says, Joe, do you think Terrell Edmonds signing affects all chances of getting Kevin Byard? I mean, yeah, maybe because they haven't released him yet. Kevin Byard isn't released, or I mean, nothing happened yet. So the Eagles aren't going to wait. You know, like, or maybe maybe they're waiting on it. Maybe they're adding Keanu Neal. You know, he was on a free agent visit the other day. I mean, they could be waiting on things. So, I mean, I think there's another possibility. They could be waiting on another safety, maybe. So, once the Eagles are never drafting 2 first-round picks 30th, it's getting traded for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They could trade back 30. They're not trading back 10. They ain't trading back 10. Let's see here. Toros, the Eagles analytics guys don't value ST's bad. ST's coach. Bad coverage units. No emphasis to find good punt returning. Inexperienced punter gives the job for the past 2 years. Yeah, I don't get it. Aaron Sipos, even the other guy they got from Tennessee, that veteran punter, and he was horrible too. I think they were both pretty bad. You know what I mean? I think they were both pretty bad. Let's see. Trying to find other stuff people want to talk about. Alex Rubin says, thanks for the stream, Joey. Alex from Denver. Have we not learned from picking up a Cowboys running back, Murray, who was a bust? I'm no on Zeke. I think the Eagles fans would love to draft Bijan. I think so too. We have to draft one of our own, bro. We have to draft one of our own. Where I'm not into picking up another player, especially from another team. Trade says number 10 almost always getting traded. Eagles are in a good spot, though. They will sit there and see if Jalen Carter falls. If not, they move back a few, get some mid rounds. It's like Murphy in the teens. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they could get Miles Murphy. I mean, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I feel like if they don't get Carter or Anderson, they could move back. They could move back and get Bijan too to get some at least a mid round pick this year. At least try to get a fourth or an extra fifth round. A fourth or a fifth or one of those mid round picks. Get a pick back at least to stay alive in this draft. So, geez, damn, I thought I was being clever and I ended up biting Joey's joke. Let's see here. What's with the Cowboys versus Eagles offseason differences? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't fucking get these. I respect Cowboy fans in some aspect, but like, what's with the whole, I mean, man, if there's a team that has so much pressure on them, it's the Cowboys with Dak Prescott. Like, how many more excuses is that guy going to get every single fucking year? Defense or not, Dan Quinn and your defense or not, that offense got to put points on the friggin' board. That team needs to get to a Super Bowl sooner or later, or get to the game at least. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, it's an excuse every single year. It's not Dak, it's this. It's not Dak, it's the coordinator. It's always something else. Like, how are Cowboy fans comfortable? I mean, at least be realistic with yourself. Like, Dak Prescott, like, come on now. It's nuts, dude. Crazy. T.L. Hopkins with Super Chat. Thank you so much. As Eagles are top team for Eichler trade. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think they trade for that. Trading for Eichler is no, and he wants more money too. I don't. If there's a trade that's not going to happen, that one's definitely not going to happen because Eichler wants more money. He just wants more money from what he's putting. He thinks. I mean, if he could, obviously he needs to stay healthy too. But I don't think they even touch that. I think they stay away from that. Charbait says, I like the production from Eichler, but he's going to want a new. Yeah, he wants a new contract. He wants more money. It's the Eagles are not into that right now. Let's see. Sua says they got to be in competition with us because it's the only thing they can cheer about. They are never getting to the Super Bowl. Probably not. I don't talk about the Cowboys every year. I never do. I haven't talked about the Cowboys all offseason. The only time I really talk about them is if I talk about their roster, the moves they made, or there's people in here saying that they're better than having a better offseason than the Eagles. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Jerry Jones actually went out and got their number one corner rental for the year. Congratulations. Brandon Cooks is a good signing. It's a good signing. But Dak Prescott's still your quarterback at the end of the day. It's not like getting more wide receivers ain't going to make Dak better. So, and Mike McCarthy's calling the plays. You don't know what you're going to get from him this year. Simple as that. And if all Cowboy fans care about is beating the Eagles and that's it, then they're not going to get much anywhere. So, Torvis, Jerry Jones, like sign old players, doesn't feel alone. It's just like the Cowboy fans get Brandon Cooks and they're downplaying it like, oh yeah, this is the guy we wanted the whole time. They didn't want Brandon Cooks. They'll take him definitely, but they didn't want Brandon Cooks. They want D Hop and Odell. They were salivating for fucking weeks over it. Simple as that. Oh my God. Like, I love how people try to get attention and it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Like, you're never gonna change my mind. And it's like no one's ever gonna like hurt my feelings. Like it's I don't know what people think they try to do, but it's pretty sad. Al says, "Where's Angelo Cadali screaming for Bush? Same thing happening with Bijan, Peter Skronsky. It's a sure thing. Guard this year, then replace Lane." Yeah, I mean Peter Skronsky. They're definitely going to need linemen. Like I don't know, like they have to get a lineman these first 3 rounds. Like they're going to have to. You know, they could get Paris Johnson if they want. Peter Skoronsky, they haven't brought in they brought in DeJuan Jones. They brought in DeJuan Jones and Paris Johnson from Ohio. Skoronsky is still up there, one of the best in the draft, no doubt. Lane Johnson obviously getting old. I mean, he's going to be leaving in a couple years, probably. He'll probably play this season, next season, and that's really it. Hopefully stays healthy, has played really well in his career. And, hasn't given up a sack in 2 seasons, but he's gotten some injuries, had those ankle injuries, had those consecutive ankle injuries, then had obviously the torn abductor, and he played really well on it. I got to say, I mean, the guy's a fighter, you know what I mean? Eagles fans for life. I like the Austin trade. If we do, he is prime and do it all back. Yeah, but it's going to cost too much to get him, and you have to give him a new contract. So that's the way it is. I 100% believe that the Cowboy fans have really tried to make themselves feel like that Brand Cooks was the guy they wanted the whole time, which they didn't. So they had OBJ in the building last year. They had him in the building hanging out with all the Cowboy players, and they still didn't fucking sign him. Like they were flaunting him, and they were like, they still didn't get him. He still didn't fucking sign there after all that. It's a joke. Jevin Coates, but Cooks is definitely a better option than Odell, but Cooks isn't a big name, so Dallas fans don't want him. No, he's not a big name. He's a consistent receiver. Like I think he's still a good receiver. Like I just think he hasn't found his place. Like he's been unhappy with the Texans. He doesn't want to be a part of them anymore. Like he's been from team to team. He's still a good receiver. He's still a good player. There's nothing wrong with Cooks. Iron says, I am in line with Philly saying that we are going offense. If they get B-Rob at 10 and can pull Cansey at 30, I will be overjoyed. I would be very happy with it. Let's see here. Chris says, DB Cooper, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 20 years, 16 playoff wins, 1 Lombardi Trophy, Dallas 3 playoff wins in 28 years. Well, that's how many running backs have run behind Lane? Dozens. We love Lane and always speak on why our O-line makes us great. So why not OT at 10? Let our great coach make him the all-pro he could be. Yeah, and the problem is that if you draft a guy like that this year, he's going to be sitting. That's what I don't want to happen. Like if you draft the top the top OT in this draft, what is he going to do? He's going to sit the whole year. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to make this another Andre Dillard situation again. Like that's what I don't want. I think they'll do better this time around because I didn't like the way they drafted Andre Dillard. I didn't like the way they treated him his first year, putting Jason Peters in front of him. I wasn't a big fan of that at all. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think they're drafting a corner, bro. I don't think it's going to happen. I thought there was a big chance, I think, when I thought CJ was getting signed and Bradbury was back, I thought it would have been a little different, but not anymore. I was really high on getting Witherspoon in the first round. I was very high on it. And then my decision changes because of obviously what holes we have and what's glaring. You don't have you lose if you lost Bradbury, you lose your number two. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, Greedy Williams might have a chance, but I mean, he's not enough. I mean, I don't know how he's going to play this year. I think the Eagles will get the most out of him, but I don't know if he would have filled that spot and would have been comfortable with that. Mario Goodrich, Josh Jobe, Zach McPherson. I mean, what do you really have back there right now that, nothing, there's really nothing that's telling me, I mean, another offseason, another training camp, OTAs, you never know what you're going to get, but, that's just what it is. I think Dallas will have a good defense. I think they will have a good defense this year. They should have a good defense this year. But offensively, they retained a lot of players. They add another weapon for Dak. Their offensive linemen are getting old. They bring Tyron Smith comes back. He's just at this point, they got to replace him. And the offensive line is getting old. I'm wondering if they're going to skip another year. They're going to skip this year and get an offensive lineman early. I don't know. And Dak Prescott has all the pressure on him this year. So, if the whole main objective of this season is to, this is a weak NFC as well. So, I mean, Tom Brady's gone, Aaron Rodgers going to the AFC. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's wide open. It's wide open for the East. There's no doubt. I think the NFC East will probably be the best division again. Who knows? We'll see. I still kind of think we get a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds and trade Quez for a fourth, fifth. Yeah, it's probably not. You're not gonna get Quez for a fourth, fifth rounder. I'd say maybe a fifth, but probably won't even be that. Probably be like a sixth. No joke. Like probably won't get much for him. Um. Well, let's see here. Yo, Time, what's going on, dude? I love this. Aaron said Dillard was the best tackle in the draft. Not really a tackle draft that year. No, it was a defensive draft. Like it was a big defensive draft. Howie went the total opposite. I remember at the time I really wasn't covering the draft. I really wasn't, doing draft. I wasn't doing. I was actually at the movies that night. I was actually at the movies when they drafted him. And I remember he got drafted. Obviously, he was the best pass protection, left tackle in the draft, blah, blah, blah. I think he would have been something, but they redshirted him his first year. They put him in 3 starts. They put him at right tackle for that one game, blew his confidence out of the water. I thought they ruined him. And then he just started getting hurt every year. So it was just wasn't great. Yeah, Baris is really good too. There are rumors. So as of right now, there are rumors that the Eagles have brought in Jalen Carter on a pre-draft visit. It hasn't been reported yet. I'm kind of waiting on any news on it, but there's been rumors that they have 3 defensive linemen coming in on pre-draft visits already scheduled up right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, nothing official yet. But good chance, though. Good chance. But really good signings the other day. Really good signings the other day, though. Got to say, Lane Johnson's extension saved us $9.4 million, $9.3 million, and obviously getting Edmonds at safety was, I think me and Philly are going to have a big difference tonight because he thinks it's on an upgrade over CJ. I think it's as good or better over CJ. I think it's a really good stopgap player. Will make a lot of tackles, and I think it's going to be really good. So. Good things take out of it. I think the biggest, I think Edmonds signed with the Eagles not only for the culture and obviously for the team just being in a Super Bowl, but I think Terrell Edmonds did. I think what helped Terrell Edmonds sign here was having, obviously, from I think what he said too, having two outside corners at their caliber too. Having Bradbury and Slay at corners makes his job a lot easier, and that's definitely true. You know how they're being used is a whole nother thing, as well. Um, so that definitely helps. Eagles fan for life says Bijan Robinson will be coming to Philly. I would bet he would be here for us at 10, and you would draft best player available, and he definitely is one. I also see cornerback will be next year. Plus, we have time to develop our young secondary. Jason Mel Kiper couldn't actually predict his own choice of breakfast cereal every day. I'm not a big. I don't listen to Mel Kiper at all. Like Daniel Jeremiah, like some of these other guys, like are fine, but him is like the last guy I would. So we'll see. Flying highs, how many Super Bowl appearances? Oh my god, this Cowboy Eagle shit is fucking annoying. I can't stand it. It's the most annoying thing ever. Let's see here. Andrew Nathan says, I think if the Eagles draft Carr to pair him up with Davis, a friend, and Fletch, someone who can get his mind right, we have the vets to keep him straight. Also, having Dean here helps with that. No, it definitely does. Definitely does. I think he'll have a really good support system here with Dean and Davis. And honestly, with the Eagles, like I mean, we don't know like the background of this story of the reckless driving, whatever the case may be with it. I think I think a lot has been on his mind. I think that pro day was, I think, an example of just a lot of stuff was on his mind, whether he was 9 pounds over heavy, he gained 9 pounds, whatever it was. I think he's just been very busy mentally. I think mentally he's just been out of it for a bit. And I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I would take the chance on him. I feel like once he gets here, he's with a team. He's got the support group around him. I think this is the perfect team for him to go to. I really do. I think this is the perfect team. Fred says, "Yo, Joey, thanks for the streams, bro. It makes my workday go by a little easier." Of course, man. I appreciate it. I had a few people say it to me. Like, that's obviously people are working at this time, so I get it, man. I'm glad it helps, dude. Glad it helps all day, at least for a couple hours, right? A couple hours. G says, I'm out. I'll be listening in. Got to drive 2 hours. Be good, trolls, and have a good weekend for everyone. You too, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, bro. Bijan, I think, makes it to 10, bro. I think he does. I think he does. I think I think of the one you really have to. I think what you have to look out for is if you're looking for trenches. I think both in Will Anderson and Jalen Carter will probably be gone. I have them not being there. It's not just because I want to draft Bijan so badly. It's just I don't think there's a big chance you might lose both of those guys if they don't move up. At least for Carter. I don't think they're moving up for Anderson, obviously, but we'll see. Carter's going to be like Clowney. Kate with the super chat is listening at work. Also, Joey, best Eagles content. I appreciate it so much, Cade. Thank you so much, man. Flying Eyes says Cowboys fans when they be here. Dave says Eagles currently have 45 mil free next year. Yeah, but that's not going to be right at the end of the day because we don't know what the Jalen Hurts contract is going to hit this team next year either. So, We really don't have a number right now. Like that number is going to definitely change if that's the actual number as of right now. Everything's standing up still the way it is right now. Yeah, I mean that's really it. You know. Time to Joey. What would you take? What would you think if we took Peter Skoronski at 10 and Cansey at 30? I don't know, dude. Like, I honestly, I know getting an offensive lineman at 10 isn't the sexy pick of the draft. I understand that, but I really wouldn't be mad. Like, if they're taking care of the trenches, how can I be mad over it? You know what I mean? I can't be really pissed at that. You know, if they drafted an offensive lineman at 10, I could. Is it exciting? No, but it's good to go trenches. You know, it's always good to go trenches, especially offensive line. You know, I wouldn't be like, oh my God about it, but I'd be like, damn, that's a good pick. It's a smart pick for the future, and a guy that's going to be in here and take the place of whoever's going to be out of the building. It could be, obviously, it could be a guard because Jurgens will move to center sooner or later. Obviously, Lane Johnson's getting older, so I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at all. Jade said, can't be Maskarowski at 10. Let's be honest. We want Bijan or Carter. Possible poof up. It's true, bro. It's true. Nate Banks says, Bijan would be exciting. Don't get me wrong, but I still don't think Howie pulls the trigger just because the running back class really is loaded. Philly Legend says, Joey, do you see a scenario in which Tyree Wilson gets drafted to Philly? Yeah, I mean, Tyree Wilson could be another one. Tyree Wilson could be another one. He could definitely be a early pick at 10 if they want to move back a couple of spots and pick up Tyree Wilson. He could be another guy. Very underrated. Think is a really good lineman as well. So Jermaine Brown says, yo, based off last season, what do you expect to see from Jalen Hurts, like stat-wise and development-wise? I mean, development-wise, I think he played really good last year. I mean, he should have over 4,000 yards this year with a group or even better group. Depending if they get a running back in here, they might, run a lot more. But obviously you have, this is in my opinion, this is a pass-first type of team. With you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Obviously, the offense runs through Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. That's just the truth. I think you can have 2,000-yard receivers again this year, and I feel like if you have a better running back there, you could be handing off the ball a lot more than usual. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot of good things with Jalen. I think Jalen's pocket presence was great. I think his awareness was great. We do those QB sneaks. We, have a lot of run designs with him, and that's just a luxury at the end of the day to have the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands and getting those easy first downs. I feel like it's pretty good, man. I feel like, I feel like he'll, it just depends. I feel like he can get over, I feel like he'll have 25, maybe 30 rushing touchdowns this year. He might, I think he'll throw more. I think he'll have more passing touchdowns this year. That's just me, but we'll see, man. We'll see. He could have a lot of rushing touchdowns this year. I know a lot of people around the league don't like that. I don't get why. Passing touchdowns are more important than rushing touchdowns. I don't know why that's the case. They get you the same amount of points. Combined touchdowns for Jalen Hurts, 35 or over. I mean, I think he'll get the same thing or more than that next year. I think he'll be better. I think he'll be a lot better. So we'll see. We got Greenbluff 54 says, the super chat says, the Cowboys suck. They suck, man. We got 297 in the chat now. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream as well. We'll have some videos out today, some memberships out tonight as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll go for another 20 minutes, and we'll probably end today. I'm not going to go a 3-hour stream today. I got a lot of stuff to do. It's the weekend. I have a lot of stuff to do today. This has kept me busy every day. But today I'm like a zombie today. Today I just feel real tired today. I got some other stuff I definitely need to do. Check out the pinned comment for the extra content with the draft highlight reactions and other stuff like that we do. So I do appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Pretty much this is the 14th stream. We've streamed for 2 weeks straight. 2 weeks straight. It's been a lot of fun. You know what I mean? We'll stream again. Tomorrow. I don't know. We're gonna find out how long we're gonna do this, but we might stream for another week, and we might stream all next week as well. So, taking advantage of it, and getting this thing going. DB says I could drink a beer with Joey, dude. Definitely, dude. I'm always down to chill. I'm an Eagles fan. We might not like our teams at the end of the day, but we could definitely hang out. We could be human beings for the moment, right? Philly watch that thing. We got ourselves an upgrade at safety position, Joey. If you don't believe me, I can even show proof. I don't even think you have to show me, to be honest. I think Edmonds is real good. I think Edmonds is as good or better, to be honest. You know what I mean? I totally really. Hell yeah, DB. Maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. Were you in Texas, DB? Are you in Texas as a Cowboys fan? Or are you somewhere else? You live somewhere else. Just I was just wondering. There's Cowboy fans everywhere, so there's Cowboy fans in New York, believe it or not. There's a lot of them in New York. So Greenbow, the super chat says, "You've been killing it, Shakes. I've been working, man. I've been working my tail off. New Mexico? No shit, dude. New Mexico. Awesome. Desert Eagle 90, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. Hope you're having a good day, bro. If you guys haven't subscribed to Desert Eagle 90, another Eagles content creator, check out his content if you guys haven't. Definitely check it out. Cade, what's going on with Super Chats? The shakedown tonight? Yes, we will have the shakedown tonight, unless Philly cancels it. That's really all I have to say. But yeah, we should be fine for tonight. 9:00 Eastern, 9:05, something like that. And we'll talk about the rest of the moves that have happened and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited for the shakedown tonight. I'm debating whether to do even a video today. I might not, because I'm like between a stream today, a stream tonight. I might not even do a video today. I might just take the rest of the day off and then wait till tomorrow, to be honest. I might not. I might make a video. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. There's definitely some more. I definitely have some ideas for some more content to put out, but I don't know if I'm going to put it out today. We'll see though. But appreciate Super Chat, Cade, so much, man. Appreciate it very much. DB says, flying high, Joey, good people. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming in and supporting, man. It means a lot. Cowboys fan or not, it's fine. You know what I mean? I get it. Everybody loves their teams. Jack Dwight's the best player evaluator. Greg Cosell kind of agrees that Juergens is excellent center, but questionable guard. Yeah, we'll see. At the end of the day, we'll find out. You know what I mean? I think he'll be fine. I don't really I feel like he will do really well. I feel like Kelsey will take him under his wing. He took him under his wing last year, and he would have played a lot more guard last offseason, but Jason Kelsey had the orthoscopic surgery in his elbow, clean his elbow out. And since that happened, he was kind of forced to be, play center all of training camp, joint practices, preseason, stuff like that. But it's been an impact player for us. Well, at least an impact from when he was drafted. I mean, just the signs are there, man. He was an immediate impact, especially playing in a preseason game and these joint practices. So we'll see. Philly Ledge says, setting love and support South Jersey. Joey, what do you grade the offseason so far? I think it's a B+ right now. I think it's definitely a B+. It's like it gets to an A. Really, it turns into an A if they really hit on this draft. Really, really good, in my opinion. So, it's like a B- to B+ right now. There's an air in the trucker. Some names in occupation. Cheers, brother. Chris, I don't hate your DB. I don't hate you, DB. And yes, Dallas Eagles and 49ers are the best in the NFC. I think what we could both agree on for Dallas Cowboy fans and Eagle fans, the 49er fans, we probably hate the most. I honestly, to be honest, didn't realize what we were getting into with these 49er fans. But we were like, why is Dallas complaining about these 49er fans so much? And those players. And now, I totally get it. I totally get it, dude. No joke. Joseph Thies, what's going on, man? Thank you for the super chat. It says, Joey, thanks for streaming and keeping up to date. Of course, I'm always streaming, dude. I don't stream this much during that. I don't know. We might stream a lot more during the regular season. Maybe we'll stream a lot more during the week. I used to stream like maybe once a week during the week, but we might do it a lot, this year. Things are changing this year. So we'll see. Yeah, I've never seen a team bitch about so much shit in my life. Like those players, man, like Jesus. It was just, God, it was horrible. I mean, I couldn't believe how salty those fucking players were, man. Nate said, doing a really good job, Chase. Keep it up, bro. I don't know. I watched you pretty early on, but can't remember when you started. What season do you think you really kicked the channel off to get it going? Probably 18, probably, because back in the day I never did off-season stuff. I never did off-season stuff. I would just do videos about the draft, but I never did like off-season stuff ever. I think it was like when I was doing free agency videos. That was like 2000, could have been 2018, 2019, maybe. Between 18 and 19, I started doing the off-season videos. The off-season kind of picked up the channel up a lot. That's where it kind of picked up, was the off-season. I think that's where it really started. Chris, I love Eagles content creators. I just happen to like Joey Shakes and Flip are the best. Hey, you know what? It's great. A lot of good content creators out. There's a lot of content creators that have low sub count and really deserve a lot more. Joe Castro, Philly the podcast, Spunky 1991, obviously Desert Eagle that's in the chat right now. Really all good friends of mine. There's a lot of guys that deserve a lot more respect, and I don't think they get enough of it, and I'm just a fan. I don't claim to know everything. I'm just a fan with a microphone at home. That's it. That's all I am. I'm not trying to be the best content creator. I don't give a shit about any of that. I stay in my lane, and that's it. I don't really watch too many other people besides I have my circle of people that I watch, but I stay in my lane, I do my thing, and that's it. I stay in my own lane. So that's all I do. Don't care about nothing else. That's it. I feel like Shakespeare are our family and they'll ever need anything. At the end of the day, dude, Chris, it's really just about having fun. Like, we're not like analytically like, oh, like it's just professionalism. It's just, I can't be like that on here. I used to listen to the comment section on here like years ago. I used to be like, oh my God, my content. I used to listen to the comment. You should do this. You should do that. You should do that. I just threw it all away, man. I just said, I just got to be me at the end of the day. And that's it. You know what I mean? So, it's one of those things where we in Philly have fun. Like, we don't just talk football. Like, me and Philly, though, me and Philly 500 are really good friends, like off camera. Like, we don't just talk about football. We talk about other stuff. We're planning to meet and hang out one day. Like we don't just talk football. We don't just work with each other and then like we don't talk to each other all week. We're texting each other all week. Like, we're talking to each other all week. It's not like it's just business, of YouTube. It's not, we're not like that. We're just having fun putting out content. It's what it is, man. Like, we just have fun doing it, But on this, yourself, Mia says, "What up, Joey? Thanks for the content. I appreciate it so much, man. Definitely, dude. So to do a post game stream at the day after each game, would you be good to talk about a post game stream the day after each game? I could. I never usually do streams on Monday. Usually it's because the weekends during the season, it's like we do our podcast on Saturday. We do our podcast Saturday night, and then we, obviously I stream the games every week, live play-by-plays. I do a video, and then I do another podcast with 500 on Sunday night. It's a lot. The weekend's a lot. And by Monday, I'm like really fried. By that time, by Monday, I'm like, Monday's like I put a video out Monday, and then it's like I just relax the rest of the day. I normally don't do streams on Monday because Saturday to Sunday, it's just busy like crazy. So that's why I don't really do stream. We'll figure it out, Tom said everybody in New Mexico is either a Broncos fan or Cowboys fan or Raiders. It's sad. I'm an Eagles fan from NM, but if we had a pro team, I'd root for. Let's see here. Joe says if I was a 49ers player, I would be embarrassed. Yeah, like look when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Like, did they blame anybody? They didn't blame each other. They didn't throw each other under the bus. They didn't they didn't talk about it for weeks. Like they didn't 3 weeks after the Super Bowl keep talking about it. Like you move on, bro. That's just what it is. Yeah, losing a Super Bowl sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world. Like that game was the most shitty loss because it's the most important loss, the most important game. Like that's why it's so shitty at the end of the day when you have to, you look at that. You know what I mean? It sucks, man. AJ always open brow said Howie really did learn from the last time we went to the Super Bowl, signing young players. And 2017, he brought in a bunch of old players. Hopefully, this draft is fire. Yeah, look, I feel like he did a good job. I feel like, yeah, he brought in some vets. He brought in some guys back, but it doesn't mean it's a bad move. He was bringing some vets on a good rotation. Who cares for the defensive line, whatever the case may be? Great, you got Reddick with double-digit sacks last year. Probably could have had a lot more. Brandon Graham had double-digit sacks. It doesn't mean that they're going to get the same amount of productivity this year, but who knows? I mean, this Sean Desai defensive scheme could be so much better than we think. I don't talk about the offense that much because I'm not really worried about it that much. I'm really not. Like Brian Johnson, I think he knows what he's doing. I have a lot of faith in him. I think he will expand the playbook a lot more for Jalen Hurts. I feel like they'll emphasize him a little bit more. I think there'll be some good things to take out of it, man. Use his time. Yes, sir. It will be late and from TCU. Joey, I've been watching since 2019. You've been on the ride for a long time. You've been on this train for a while, man. Torvald said 49ers couldn't admit that they lost the battle in the trenches. Lane dominated Bosa, and Lane had a serious injury. 49ers couldn't handle Reddick. 49ers won't win a Super Bowl without accountability. Yeah, it's probably true, bro. Todd says they better all the Cowboys fans I know are hoping to draft QB. They needed a new one. Like there's still obviously there's Dallas fans that like Dak and think this team is amazing. There's fans that hate Dak but still thinks the team can go really far. I think if Dallas can go far, just because the NFC is just a dead space right now, with really just the Cowboys, Eagles, the NFC East, maybe the Giants haven't really impressed me from their preseason, from their offseason moves. I mean, they might draft JSN, they might draft another receiver, but they're all. I mean, you just paid Daniel Jones $40 million, and you have Campbell, you have Jamison Crowder, and you have that injury-prone tight end you got from the Raiders. That if he stays healthy, he'll be a good player. But I mean, you gave your quarterback that much money, like all you did was just waste Daniel Jones on a new year on a new deal. I mean, that's how I think about it. And Washington is just QB hell, QB hell, QB hell. They have a good team. It's just they just can't find a quarterback. They go from quarterback to quarterback to quarterback to quarterback. The Colts finally woke up a little bit. The Panthers finally woke up a little bit. So, I mean, when is Washington going to wake up and say, dude, we need to be aggressive and trade up for a quarterback? They sooner or later, Jacoby Brissett, it's just the NFC East is just entirely. I'm just saying, man. Cowboys and Eagles have the best. I mean, the two best teams by far a mile in the NFC East. There's no doubt. I mean, I understand Washington might have a good team around Brissett, but Brissett is just a journeyman guy. I mean, he's a journeyman quarterback, man. That's just what it is. Backup, sure, but other than that, I'm not thinking too much else about it, to be honest. Philly guy for life for the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, love the content. Where would you rank B. Johnson against Zeke and Barkley when they were drafted? Different styles, so maybe just about impact. Yeah, I mean, interesting enough, like Zeke, I think, was really dominant. And I think Bijan could be as good as Zeke. Barkley, I don't know what Barkley would have done because Barkley just didn't really have a fair chance because he was drafted to a team that had a really bad offensive line. And usually when teams in the top 10 that had the top 10 picks aren't good teams. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in that top 10. So a player's probably like, man, if I get drafted to Philadelphia, it's already a good team right now. And they made some good trades. They have a good GM. Like, I feel like I didn't see enough from Barkley these past few years because obviously the injuries coming off the ACL last year, players coming off ACLs within the same year of returning and playing are never the same that year, at least. You know what I mean? And it's just, I know running backs are expendable. I know running backs, you'd rather franchise tag a running back for $10 million than obviously sign him to a longer extension. It's actually cheaper in the long run to sign a running back to a franchise tag than really extend him to a big contract, because it's just this way, like you're not tied into a player, God forbid, because of injuries and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's tough for me to really, I think Robinson could be as good as Zeke or probably a little bit better. Barkley, I think once he, there was, first year, his rookie season, like getting to that, when he got to the second level, man, and he outran us for touchdowns. He did it a couple times against us, like made it look real easy. But, he kind of wasted some years behind the Giants, not really building that offensive lineup. That's just probably what it was the most, So I get it. So go Kush, what's going on, man? I appreciate the super chat so much, man. Shows that if Anthony Richardson falls to the mid-late teens, I think Jerry Jones goes after him. I don't know if he's going to fall. I mean, we'll see, but there should be 4 quarterbacks taken in the top 10 this year. So, and the trucker says I'm out of here. Oh my God. So weird. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be another quiet day today. And we'll see. I mean, there could be some some moves. I think the Eagles have one really good move coming up soon. I think there's another move that the Eagles are gonna make, and it's gonna be a real good one. I feel I think it's gonna be a really good one. So we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be good. But we have 261 people in the chat. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream as well. Make sure you check out the pinned comment for the extra content. We're going to end this a little short today. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock, 11:20, probably the same time as today. Most likely we'll stream for a couple hours tomorrow. We might do a whole nother week of streaming. So we might stream for a whole nother week next week. So should be cool. Should be fun. So you guys have a fantastic day. I don't know if I'm going to have a video out today. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll have some membership videos, definitely, but a vid, I might take a break today. I might just like do the Philly shakedowns tonight as well. It's going to be a lot to do today. So I might just wait till tomorrow to put some stuff out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And I'll be around. So, all right, you guys have a great day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys. Enjoy your day.